The Raiders. The Raiders go from an old defensive coach who felt a little bit out of his generation to a young, clever, highly respected offensive coach, Clint Kubiak. Sea change. They got the best free agent signing, to me, in the entire offseason. Tyler Linderbaum with a rookie quarterback. They also got Jalen Naylor, a wide receiver from Minnesota, who, if you have a fantasy draft coming up in August, keep your eye on him. And then there's 3 draft picks for them. Remember, the Raiders are not like the Jets. The Raiders have really good players at premier positions. Max Crosby, Colton Miller, a running back, a tight end they love. They've got players. Now they've got an all-pro center. But they picked up a safety in a corner, especially the corner if he remains healthy. Those are star players. So I think the Raiders feel leadership, quarterback who has the best center arguably in the sport, a sharp GM. Yeah, I know we don't love the ownership, but the Raiders feel different to me. And
yeah, I mean, listen, I don't understand why people keep pretending like the Raiders' ownership is some kind of disaster. I've said this so many times recently, but they've taken big swings. They've made intelligent hires. They've made good decisions. We keep lumping the Raiders in with teams like the Cleveland Browns, that ownership group, what they've been doing, all of that, and it just feels absurd to me. It really, really does. I think the Raiders absolutely knocked it out of the park and stuck the landing this entire offseason, free agency, and now that the draft is officially over, the draft as well. I mean, you simply can't ask for a better offseason. And what's so great about this is that when I look at the Jets, they had a great draft. I made this whole video talking about how they need to figure out their quarterback for next year's draft, how it would be beneficial for them not to be a great team so they can get a higher pick, etc. People responded, "Oh, you don't know, we'll figure out the quarterback, Geno Smith, this, that, and the third, all this other nonsense." And they said, well, we've got to start winning now so we can build a winning culture. And I'm thinking, I don't even know if you have the coach, you don't have a quarterback. You're building a great roster, but your team is still a mess. That's not the case with the Raiders. The Raiders have everything now. They have everything they need to build that winning culture and take those steps forward. It's just awesome. I don't think the future could be any brighter. And I'll go as far as to say this, as long as the defense isn't some kind of liability for the Raiders, and they can actually get the run game going, if Amir Abdullah is who they thought he was, and you combine that with all the other changes they've made, as long as again, Fernando Mendoza isn't just an absolute mess as a rookie, this team will absolutely compete to make the playoffs. I really, truly believe that. I believe we could see seasons like we saw with the Commanders, with the Texans, etc. As long as this defense can actually be part of the show and they can consistently do damage in the run game, because now they actually have a balanced passing attack, a great play caller, a better offensive line, and now they can truly unleash Amir Abdullah, then this team is way better than anyone actually understands or is willing to admit right now. So I genuinely believe this team can, I don't want to say hit the ground running, but hit the ground jogging, which is a pretty cool spot to be in if you're a Raiders fan. Before I go any further, Raiders fans, please don't forget to subscribe and watch the full length of the video. You guys have been crushing it all offseason. When you show up, when you watch the full video and subscribe at the same time, views go through the roof, subscribers go through the roof. And it's not about chasing views or subscribers. It's about creating content that people genuinely want to watch. So I can keep producing the best possible Las Vegas Raiders content that I can, unbiased, grounded, rooted in reality so we can have real, honest discussions. So please don't forget to do that because it really, really goes a long way. But yeah, man, from getting Kirk Cousins to Clint Kubiak, they're just doing everything right. And it does make me think of the New York Jets because I've been having this conversation with Jets fans, telling them, I love what you did in the draft. I love the team that Dan Losky is building. The Jets organization, this roster right now, this franchise couldn't be higher. They're in such a great spot. Yeah, except we don't know about the coach, and you don't have a quarterback. That's kind of a mess. And now you're going to be stuck in this no man's land where you might be too good this coming season to get a great draft pick. And they say, well, we've got 3 draft picks, so we don't have to be bad. And I think, when are you guys going to grow up? When are you going to grow up? It's a lot better to have the top 2 or top 3 pick than to have the top 10 or top 15 pick. I don't care how many picks you have. That's what the Raiders have been able to do. Build out their team, establish that foundation. Fortunately for them, they were terrible. They got the number 1 overall pick and got their Mendoza. They already hired their coach. I don't have any question marks about Kubiak. They made moves in free agency. They were incredibly Art. They got better on both sides of the ball. And here we are. I'm so excited to see what the Raiders do in these next coming years. So excited. And it's so funny to see it not discussed all that much. The only reason people were even really emphasizing the Raiders was because of Max Crosby and that drama, and the fact that they had the number 1 overall pick with Fernando Mendoza. So just by virtue, people say, well, we want to talk about the number 1 pick. And it just so happens to be the Raiders. But people aren't understanding that this team, the actual Las Vegas Raiders themselves, the discussion should be that they're going to be a great team. They are actually building something legitimate there. They've done all the right things. They've made a ton of correct decisions over the years. That's why I don't think it's fair to knock ownership. The Washington Commanders before Jaden Daniels were an absolute mess. The Carolina Panthers before Dave Canales, absolute mess. The Cleveland Browns, absolute mess. The Arizona Cardinals, absolute mess. The Las Vegas Raiders weren't winning, but they were making smart decisions. They were making smart moves. They were taking big swings. They were doing what they could to build legitimate rosters. They just did. They made really, really smart moves. And they've been doing it. It's just that, like I said, they haven't all worked out. And as soon as you don't have the quarterback locked in place, yeah, it's a bit of a mess. But they didn't take any bizarre swings at quarterback. They didn't do anything crazy where you just think, what did they just do? Oh, they just paid Deshaun Watson $220 million guaranteed. Yikes. What? Oh, they need a head coach this year. Who are they going to hire? Todd Monken. Okay. It's not the worst hire. It's not the most inspired hire. They got the best offensive coaching hire in the game right now, which was Clint Kubiak. They wanted Ben Johnson the year before, couldn't get him. Went out and got an established, experienced coach, which didn't work out, but it was a smart move. It was like, let's bring in someone who knows what they're doing. Again, it didn't work. And they pivoted off it immediately. They didn't double, triple, quadruple down. They said, this isn't working. Oh, Clint Kubiak is now available. Let's go get him. That was smart. Absolutely smart. They didn't say, well, let's see Geno Smith with Clint Kubiak now, let's do this or that. No. They thought, we could still draft Mendoza and keep Geno and have Mendoza sit behind him. No, we'll bring in Kirk Cousins. We'll go get Linderbaum. We'll bulk up this defense in free agency. We'll fix our offensive line. The Raiders have just been making awesome decision after awesome decision, and they deserve way more praise beyond just drafting the number 1 overall pick and Fernando Mendoza. So I do think, at this moment in time, the Raiders are a genuinely well-run team, well-coached, and they have their quarterback. Che. CK, check. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you all think about the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you think they were one of the biggest winners of the draft this weekend? And how do you feel now that their offseason is essentially complete? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you as part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing that. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up because it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.